Alright, welcome back. Last time we looked around the hallway because Portsman kicked us out because he's just rude like that. And now we found some interesting note. We found that this baseball hoop was moved, and we can look at the logic things we have. I don't know, maybe these, I'm just gonna try and connect these to see what happens. See if, you know, maybe... Nope. That was not, okay. That was just a shot in the dark, to be honest, so I get it, it's fine. What do we have? The basketball hoop was moved. And there's a note. What do you have to say, Maggie? Can I present you with this basketball hoop? What do you think about that? I'm just a lovely security guard, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to guard it. It's like talking to another gumshoe. It really is. It really is. What about this note? You don't know anything about this. What about the door? I've had to open Mr. Portman's office for him a number of times before. I've also had the chance to see inside it. We did this last time. Yeah, yes, we did. You make a reward for it's not as good, Gumshoe. But the master key. So when did you discover what the master key was missing? The time I realized that I think it was about 1 AM, and that's, yeah, we talked about this. Yeah. The Portsman, okay. Know about the crime scene notes. See if anything to say about that? Guard the information. Good job. What about my prosecutor's badge? How do you feel about that? That's a prosecutor's badge, isn't it? Proves that you're really a prosecutor. Interesting. Despite all appearances, she seems to know more than Gumshoe. Oh. With that badge, even I could be a professional prosecutor. Sir, maybe you try it on, just for a little bit. I don't think that'd be a very good idea, do you? I guess not. Second thought, they're actually on the same level. They really are. But that's why they're cute. Don't judge, Edgeworth. Gosh. You're so rude. You gotta think about the shippers. I mean, honestly, well, is it really a ship if it's more or less done in actual games? I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, can I look at this door? Because I'm missing something. I'm just not finding it. They slide out of place. Alright, great. Wonderful. This basketball hoop was moved. Okay, we got everything here then, I guess. We just gotta look at my door for something. Gumshoe, what do you have to say? Anything? Nope. Okay, clearly there's something shady going on my door. About the doorknob? I don't see any signs of forced entry. According to the guard, what? According to the guard, no signs of lock was picked either, sir. I mean, the door really was open with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. Oh. Oh. It was just look at the doorknob. Alright, whatever. That's just... on me, I guess, for being a dumb. Anyway. Poking around this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. Huh? How so, sir? In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case. You know who the real killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as my logic is sound, then yes. That's behind this murder is no other than Mr. Portsman. What? Mr. Portsman? I knew it! That was exactly what my logic sinners were telling me too. I expect you were to instantly accuse Maggie of being the killer, sir. It is anything but logical. Yeah, a little motivational driven, I guess. But hey, I mean, if it's right. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come what may, it's time to knock on truth's door. Very poetic of you, Mr. Edgeworth. March 14th, 5:11 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office. Room 1202. Mr. Portsman, I've finished processing the blurred letters, sir. Alright, let's take a gander at it. Pass it here. That's probably not good evidence handling, to be honest, but whatever. Okay, good looking. You there. Take good care of this. Whoa! Guys? Well, isn't it... Well, if... Isn't it that... Well, if... Isn't Detective Gumshoe? Another line for you, Portsman. We've got you now. Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jacques Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case. Must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I would be mad too. So I guess you can stay, if you promise to stay out of our way. Tend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job. I can see right through the unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Whoever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Kramer, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me I gotta stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know? Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. One thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that, too, will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. Well, aren't we full of ourselves? Even though you have yet to prove anything. Let's go round 2. Mr. Portsman's rebuttal. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in your mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, I may ask, suppose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. Sorry, but we're not finished yet. Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something? I'll show you what I'm basing my accusations on, with evidence. Okay. Mountain of evidence. You should, tell me instead of just saying that there is. Let's see here. 4% anything. I'm just gonna press this first. Unfortunately, I believe I've already shown that out earlier. This speculation has been nothing, as I still insist I cannot gain access to your room. What should I do now? Should I raise an objection? Raise an objection! I claim to have no way to open my door, however, is that really the honest truth? Haha, alright, I'll humor you. Go ahead, shoot. Very well then, I propose that you use this to open my door. The master key.
Take that!
Olivia will open my office door with the master key, no less.
Objection!
Wait, hold on for a second. Never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely. You already opened my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right. Use your finger to direct this person and open my door with the key. It was Maggie.
Take that!
You asked Miss Bird to open her office door for you, yes? Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know? But the room you had Miss Bird open that time was not your own, was it? What? You have quite the imagination. Why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir. See, Miss Bird backs up my story. Yes, what if you had misled her to fool her to thinking what you wanted? Ha! And how do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on our doors, for example. That's right, they do slide out pretty easily. Furthermore, I used one other thing to give a very strong impression. That the door she was opening was yours and not in fact mine. What was it that he used? He used the basketball hoop.
Take that!
What? The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite a particular fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. It is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit out just the office of a particular prosecutor. Wah! That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door was opening. It had to be Mr. Portsman's. There was either the hoop had been moved. To sit in front of my office, to be sure. I see. So that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture's a little off with a racetrack. Conjecture's rebuttal. That doesn't really make a ton of sense, but okay, fine. Now you're just spreading nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You have a single reason to suspect me. Actually, I do. He tends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? And he puts his jacket on because he's just weird. I don't know. I'm in pure as innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. My jacket's not dirty, I just washed it yesterday. Please calm down, for I intend to show the run is truly covered in slime here. It's him, because, pretty simple evidence, to be honest. Though, where you do it, that's the issue. I see it. I see the issue. Here we go. Does it read he wasn't here? Yes. Yes, it does. Alright. Here you go. Tap your head. And then do a smirk. That was a lie. What are you talking about? How is that a lie? This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman. A note? It was left under your door, or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you're out. You're not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then, where were you and what you were doing? Ah! So I'll explain it in full detail for you. You're busy snooping around in my room, the very room you had Miss Bird open for you. That's just nonsense. You know I instead made the girl open your door for me. Oh, but I do. I have very decisive evidence. No way! This is proof positive that you had Miss Bird open the door for you. There ain't no fingerprints on the door, man. I had your door dusted for prints. My door? Ha! What for? Come on, I didn't even find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You're right, I didn't find anything. And definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints. Her prints, what have they to do with anything? Let's put it this way. She was really the one who opened your door. And her prints would naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Ah! Further, if all the prints on my office door have been wiped clean off, I only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints are on it. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? You know you stole into my room with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out. That's because he heard sounds coming from a room where occupant was on leave. It's important you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. I had the misfortune to return when you did. You would have threatened me as you escaped. They said you had the gun to my back. No one gets away with committing murder in my office. Just what's so funny, pal? That look of seriousness on his face, on the face of this office's finest prosecutor. He makes a huge mistake in accusing me. It's simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world. What? Mr. just explained it all and even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to that crime already. As I said earlier, it's so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Well, I can really confess I had already wiped that doorknob down as well. A little obsessive-compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched, which is why I wiped away the knob as soon as I could as you opened the door. And with that, it makes perfect sense that only be Jim's and my own print would be on there. That doesn't make sense. If you wipe the prints for one fingerprints, then they're all gonna be gone. You just made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, it's a note Jim left for me. Do you know exactly when it was? Following a week, could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example. Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Hey, even geniuses fail sometimes. I was probably too occupied with work-related matters, though that's no excuse. Now that's just a fat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. But you can't prove that, can you? Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here. Portsman makes a good point. I can't prove he didn't overlook it. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? Well, I realized I had just now as we were talking of him. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner. Alright. Go ahead. What do you got? Memory serves, you came back to this office around 2 AM, correct? And it was then that you had an unfortunate confrontation with the culprit. But exactly at that time, I was studying criminal affairs. Ask around, I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's a perfect alibi. Do you really think it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself. Detective Gumshoe? Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check out this alibi, sir. I'll be right back. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. Just like Mr. Portsman said. The guy's down in criminal affairs today, so I'm around 2 AM. You see? All the evidence points him to being the culprit. There must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. Interesting. I'm just gonna press everything for the time being. You're correct, it was around 2 AM. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time. I remember checking my watch then, and to make no mistake, it was 2. Oh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay. You came back to your office at 2. You had a confrontation with the culprit. Is as you say, however... Yes, however, you're the one who claimed you bumped into the culprit. So tell me, you didn't see the person's face? Was it me who you saw? It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see. Oh, come now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you? I'm getting to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here. Oh well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. What matters is that you ran into the culprit. So you paid the Criminal Affairs Department a visit. Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct. Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony. And it was just as I said, right? Yes, sir. A number of detectives said they saw you around that time. See, I have the perfect alibi. It's the ace head up my sleeve. Possible. He actually does have the perfect alibi. What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face? Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we've reached the end of the line and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there. Sir? Please escort the young lady out. But remember, be gentle. Raggy! Detective Gumshoe! Is there Nothing I could do. There must be a way to turn the situation around. If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi? It couldn't have been Portsman, then who could it be? Need to calmly think this through one more time and with logic. Okay. He wasn't here, and there's a different gun in play, so it had to be a different person, right? Sure, try that. That makes sense. There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life, and the one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. Like, the jacket is so important. However, the murder weapon only showed signs of being fired once, meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. Seeing as the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been a property of an entirely different person, which could mean there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. Huh. That would make sense, yeah. They were here to steal stuff, not murder him? Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were attended twice. Note the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder. There shouldn't be much of a stretch to think it was the work of 2 different people. By once people who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it, and once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. I suppose the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back.
Objection!
Yeah. Mr. Portsman, it seems I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case. Great, so you finally come to your assistance. Mr. Edgeworth! Sir, what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case. What do you mean? The person I ran into was just your average thief. A thief? But, sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in effects? Not at all. It just seems the killer was someone else. It means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office today. What do you mean, 2? Explains both of my shells were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. His opponents tricked Miss Bird and gated entry into my office.
Objection!
Now you're just leading the arguments. You don't have any actual proof, you know. If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portman went out to steal something from me. Which is why I checked my sequence safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time. So then, this would have been the files were put back in the wrong order, right? Correct. Then, just as you're about to look somewhere else, police would walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith. Why'd Mr. Faith come to your room, sir? Probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. That's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? You must have thought it was odd, so he came to your office to check it out. Correct, and as a detective, it was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because with Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. Mr. Portsman was not so merciful to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him. And then... blam. He killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. Bite that metal. Chew on it. Enjoy it. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired. The one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he also left the fake dying message behind. You're a complicated troublemaker, you know that. Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor in my room, and this is where it gets complicated. There was another visitor, sir. Yes, and this other person tried to steal something from me. Now then, after Miss Portsman left, the door of my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, so... They stole the master key from the security guard's room, and entered my room and searched through my shelves. The second time they were disturbed, it seems the thief found their prize. The stolen file 0, right, sir? Correct. Only as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. Second bullet was fired during the briefing. But so was messed up twice in the 2 bullets. It was all because student people were doing those things at different times. Precisely. How do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief, and not in fact Mr. Vate's killer. The alibi for the time frame when I ran into the other person is not relevant, because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit. What do you have to say now? What's so funny, pal? Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything. Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth, after all. But, you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which is withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there's still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir. But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must. You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. The person you meant really was just a plain old thief. Why is that person not your main suspect? That is, your theory is correct. Because you're too shady, man. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. It still might be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but I've already said I was training in my room. When Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at criminal affairs. But I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. I think we should be out there looking for the thief. Of course, this is the time to be wasting on dead-end discussions. I don't think so at all, then. I find her alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I was lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. We have to find a way to prove it. Oh, hey, actually. Yeah, that don't work. I'm gonna press a little bit, but I think I have an idea about this, but I'm gonna press a little bit first. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Why not? That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Face Killer very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. It was after they were there the thief stole one of them. You mean the 0 files, right? That's how we also know the letters themselves were a setup and not for Mr. Faye. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves? Ah! Or maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Yes, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe. Once escaped, I doubt the highlighted thief would linger nearby. Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were actually after. Oh, you talk like you know quite a bit about this thief. Ah, it's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything, after all. You were training in your room. But according to Mr. Face's notes... Hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left a note for me in the early evening? Do you have proof that he left at different times, say just before he was murdered? I don't have any, no. You see, so I insist the kid that was in my office the entire time. I think this is the shady. Why don't you go there with Mr. Faith? Ah, that's because he said he was tired and going to take a quick nap. You know those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. And one of the evidence he brought. There are things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items. A gun and a pendant. Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too... Yeah, that's actually quite important. A gun and a pendant. Yes, this gun, which is the murder weapon. And this pendant, which belonged to the victim. Why are you taking into criminal affairs? Something in a past case file wanted to compare these two. But it has all nothing to do with this case right now. And I believe you'll find a long paper trail left to be your satisfaction. And there's all that bit of gumshoe found out. Can't expect you to know, can I? Nope, but I guess you can expect me to take a guess based on logical deductions. Oh, then let's hear you deduce. Checkmate defended the evidence, stole the master key. For the purpose of sneaking into your room, of course. That's when Mr. Bird caught him red-handed, and the murder occurred. Still exactly as I had laid out earlier. Hey. Hey, wait a minute. I'm gonna say the gun. I think it's the gun. Try the gun. No. That was not right. There's a large flaw in your logic. That is actually not true, because the music didn't stop. If the music stops, then it's fine. If it doesn't, then it's not. Oh, I know what it is. There was 3 pieces of evidence. That's what it was. I got it. Don't worry. See? 3. Got it. Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase here is you fail. Excuse me. You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you. Here's a piece I think you should read carefully. Ah, it says Mr. Faith is bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman. I can't believe they get tripped up by some simple arithmetic. Where is the missing piece of evidence? It's... You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe, you don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down for you head to toe. What? Don't come too close, I'm warning you. It's all part of the investigation, pal, so don't even think about stopping me. No! What is it? Hey, what's this? Yeah, this item, sir. Oh, a tape. Despite you said, it appears you have something to hide. But why would he hide something like that? It's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. So it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. The section of the tape that'll drive the last nail into his coffin. Okay. What does it say? The KG8 incident. All these more incidents. That's a police case number, sir. Does that mean this video is evidence from that case? Interesting. However, what's recorded on this isn't what's important right now. Let's give the case a thorough once over. Okay. Oh, hey, look at that! There's blood on it. That's great. Ah! That's blood, isn't it? Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood? No, you got it all wrong. No man of denial can save you. You're but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us you had received evidence from the victim earlier. And if you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video? Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Without the moment of his death, or Detective Faith keep his own videotape on his persons when you killed him. You know very well there's no way to prove that. Not even for her to examine this tape for fingerprints. Yeah. I take a guess. I'd say the only ones on it belong to the murderers, you and Mr. Faith. No, impossible. Oh, he ate the metal. That's probably not good. He ate the metal. That's probably not good for his health. March 14th, 5:47 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office. Room number. Mr. Portsman placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Face, sir. Very good. The results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Face's blood on there. As a bonus, I consider also leave a few Mr. Face's fingerprints as well. Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. Second, I believe I got to see your cool deduction skills from outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm just sorry I got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. It was nothing, really. Compared to what I've been through, I mean... I consider myself lucky it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If it had been a hold-up or a hot situation, I might have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm probably rising up for a goddess in misfortune, just an unlucky person. Something tells me we should have hired a different person over the security detail. Yeah, maybe. You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. Why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard that there were a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There are even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir. Forged evidence, huh? It said he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Ooh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession. I never get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office. Yeah, whenever I got near that topic, he just clammed up. Though we can be certain it was to steal something. This is between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh, well. It's important it's not willing to divulge anything. It certainly leads credence to that rumor. But even though we haven't heard the last of this. Oh, the Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy. I didn't say that. However, there's still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the sequence of this piece of evidence. The file. Take that! The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night. Yeah, I wonder who that was. What happened to the stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Yes? I came across this while I was possessing your office earlier, sir. This card! What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It's the mark of the raven, a three-legged raven. Even you should know what it is, detective. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? That great thief everyone's talking about. Yes, it is the mark of the great thief. Yatagarasu. Sure. I'm gonna go with that. That's fine. They're the mark of a legendary bird. The Yagagarasu is honorable to an end. A modern Robin Hood. They were mysterious and phantom-like. The Yagagarasu appears and vanishes at will. If you don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, you do know the targets. Yagagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt stealings of all sorts. Theft is always performed in silence and always with the perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth, like some other thieves. Instead, the chosen corporations are betrayed without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence is found and sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it has been a while since the Yagagara's last appearance. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, something's written on the back. What? Let me see. It's a location of where the thief put the stolen files. The person who stole the contents of the file was the Yagagarasu. Yagagarasu. Organization. Quite a few keywords are popping up in this mystery. Murder in my office. The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming, for they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. The end of the first case. A brand new episode has been added, Turnabout Airlines. Why airlines? Airlines are the worst. Alright. This was longer because it kind of didn't have a natural stopping point, so 40 minutes for Friday, that's fine, whatever. Anyway, next time and next week, because trying to follow a Monday to Friday schedule with this stuff, we'll come back for case 2, it's about airlines. So, until then.